Hi, welcome to another edition of What the Fuck, happenings in the YouTube atheist community and Stickam fun. Yep. So anyway, yeah, I don't have much to show on the screen. Just this website, the old one still. Yeah, still gotta work on that. Gotta talk to the Pointless, get going. And I'm sorry I haven't been updating the site. It's sort of a bitch because I have to, create the FLV files and the MP3s. And then I have to, make them so there's images and things and all that crap. And I have tools to make it simpler, but they're not applicable to, the new website and the old website. And so it's, well, anyway, it's not, yeah, it's a little bit of work still. And, yeah, just no time and all that crap. Don't even know what I'm busy doing, but there's always something in my way. Headache last 2 days, actually. A little bit annoying. Ever since Pyro's room he had a headache. Gave me his headache. Yeah, just the rain here. Pressure changes. Headache sometimes. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, nobody's really made interesting videos. Just that's the way it is. They really haven't. Except me. Yeah. Anyway, Stickam. It was a little weird. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, the first 4 hours were kind of without a dominant theme or subject. Just banter, conversation, blah blah blah. I don't know. It was, the time passed. Wasn't horrible. But anyway, but the last hour or so was pretty good. Karina came in the room and it was actually Bandit guy. He's really annoying, but he brought up the subject of determinism, and that's always kind of an interesting subject. Just because of the very idea of imagining the fact that all this mechanics is taking place underneath the veneer of what we're doing, and that it's yeah, it's just mattering, and just it is kind of deflating and irritating almost, that all this functionality is just a programmed, inevitable chain of event driven happening. And so yeah, but there isn't really any alternative to that. Events without causes would be kind of silly and pointless. So what's the point in that either? It's just like, what's the point of anything? I mean, the whole anything anyway. How do you make an anything? How do you actually construct something that does make sense? This making sense is not really a function of the universe, as sadly as it is. So anyway, and then that led to some conversation with Karina about the arsenic thingy and the abiogenesis stuff, which is another good subject. I mean, it's a good subject just because there seems to be a capacity to have a debate about it, and it seems to be sort of a critical perception for a lot of people's understanding of what life is, what the hell we're doing here. So I mean, I think if people really had an accurate perception of what life is, that it isn't daisies and flowers and sunshine and birds tweeting and that kind of crap, that what life is reproducing matter. It's just a construct, and there's nothing soft, fuzzy, warm about the underlying mechanics. And the other part of it is just trying to come up with some diagram of that initial evolution of chemistry that led to the first biological organism, the first reproducing little machine. And people have these theories, and I guess I should write a paper and have it peer reviewed or some kind of crap, but I mean, I don't have any peers, obviously. I'm not a scientist. So they'll probably reject it. Maybe I have to get some scientists to submit my paper. But yeah, I mean, I think we can theoretically, logically, deduce a lot. And the first reproducing machine would have to be a lean, mean machine. I mean, it would have to be a leanly functional reproducer. It couldn't really afford baggage. It couldn't afford chemistry that's doing something else besides part of that initial functionality. And I think the way of looking at it is like this, the idea of the Reese's peanut butter cup, you know, like peanut butter getting on chocolate, like somehow in this soupy sea, you know, a membrane function, you know, that could split in half and, you know, would retain some sort of internal proteins, probably collided, you know, with another DNA function, you know, that was not capable of reproducing on its own, but was like a virus where it had a functionality, but it was completely dependent on other mechanics to make that functionality create a copy. And you know, maybe it's that those two things colliding, and maybe a little marshmallow right in the middle, you know. So it could be, you know, I've called it a perfect storm, but yeah, I mean, to create a reproducing machine, you probably had to have a perfect storm of very complex, already very complex chemistry colliding or interacting in some sort of very likely, unlikely way. Because it's complex chemistry. It's not simple chemistry that reproduces itself. And it's not some sort of automatic function of chemistry. It doesn't just go there, you know, as part of the periodic table or something. The elements don't just create reproducing elements. You know, they create radioactive ones, but you know, it just doesn't fall into reproduction. And so it's a manifestation of complex arrangement, and that it isn't something that's automatically built into the structure. Yes, this will automatically happen, or this is a simple property of matter, that it will obtain a complexity that allows it to reproduce. But yeah, I mean, there's this argument that any new life form would get consumed by the environment, and I still argue I don't see any reason to believe that. The first reproducing machine, a first creator, it would be you know, incredibly productive, and it would be hard to eliminate, hard to exterminate, not easy to exterminate. It wouldn't be vulnerable because it would be very lean, and I think that's just bullshit. I mean, I can't submit that in the paper, of course, but anyway. So let's see, that led to some other stuff. Oh yeah, then there was the physics part too. So we got on the subject of the physics a little bit, and yeah, I sort of like that subject. You know, I've talked about it, and I'll probably make more videos on it, because I'm sort of getting this idea that maybe you can combine all these energy thingies and do that unified field theory thingy, because I'm getting an image in my head. I'm getting a way of seeing things that's lending me to that. First, I'm thinking of the universe not as this thing that's doing this moving thing, that it's really like a computer. It's on a clock cycle. So the speed of light is more the clock cycle of the universe, and the quantum, the smallest quantity, is really movement about whether something in one tick goes from point A to point B, and so it's more about position, and position is dictated. So it's a frozen universe at every second. Every clock tick, not second, but every moment of speed of light time. It's really just a frozen universe. It's not, you know, it's frozen. And then on the clock tick, it moves. And then only on those clock ticks does anything change. And so anyway, and so that it changes the mechanics, the visualization, because no longer do you think of things having momentum. You think of them as having a disposition on the next clock tick to move in a certain direction. And so then I combine that with the Einstein, you know, flat plane of fabric, you know, that you dimple with mass. So mass creates a dimple in the fabric that creates a slope. And that's that slope that things travel on. So just thinking about the slope idea, and if you were just rolling a ball down a slope, the ball doesn't acquire momentum. The ball doesn't have the momentum. The slope is imposing the momentum. So the movement isn't in the thing that's moving. It's actually in the fact that it is forced down a slope, and the pitch of that slope will decide how quickly or how much momentum it acquires, how much acceleration there is. And so like all movement, even light, might just be that the light is actually traveling on a pitch, on a slope, and that all movement in the universe is doing the same thing. Everything is traveling on slopes. And so the atoms that compose you, when you move, all that's happening is the slope of different associations between pieces of structure, quanta. The slopes are changing, and they are moving quickly towards each other, more quickly because of that slope change. Their momentum changes, and that creates all the movement that we see. And so none of the movement is in the object. It's in the object's position relative to the slopes that it's interacting with. So really, this is a science crap in the middle of a what the fuck. So what the fuck? That's pretty fucked up. Anyway, yes, there's not much else, you know. I saw a Coughlin video. Gotta get him a new camera, man. His camera is just, I mean, it's sort of nice just to have the, you know, a really crappy video like that. It's sort of like nostalgic or something. But yeah, I mean, come on. What else? Yeah, it really isn't much else. Thank you. You know, a couple people sent me some stuff, fruit and whatnot, which you really shouldn't send in the mail. Doesn't really work very well. And whatnot, and so appreciate that. Now, yeah, just a general thank you to the, you know, there are people who really do take care of us here, and you know, I don't know what to do about it, but I mean, it's just really nice. I mean, it's like the whole Tommy thing and different things, and you see what people will do, and you know, it's you know, there really are good humans. You know, there's unfortunately they're rare, just like life itself, I guess. Yeah, there's just not much to say. I mean, I wish I could, you know, build a monument to it or something. You know, I'll have to work on that maybe. Some sort of statue to the good humans of YouTube. Yeah, you know, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. So whatever my appreciation is worth, you have that anyway. And yeah. So yeah, there's not much else. Lots of videos to make, lots of subjects to talk about, I guess. I mean, you know, I made some pretty good long videos on this whole idea of what means something and what meaning is and how it's derived, and the whole suffering argument and the whole addiction argument. And I think these are all really valid arguments, and I don't see anybody making any counter argument. You know, I hear them just making one sentence insults, but I really don't see them saying anything of substance. You know, you're too dark, you're too depressed, you're too something. Yeah, well, fuck that. That's not an argument. Yeah, it's not, doesn't mean anything to me anyway. You're gonna have to do better than that. So yeah, that's about it, I think. Yeah, really, that's, you know, that's enough said, I think. Sorry, I mean, you know, wish there was something a little more something-ish. Somebody did give me some links to, like, there was some NASA video, and it was just hilarious. You know, they had like some little robot they're making to go to Mars, and they had the thing put to some music like "Fly Me to Mars, so I can pick up some rocks and such." And it was just so fucking like, this is what scientists are doing. You know, they're selling their robot with, you know, musical interludes. Ugh, it's so lame. But that was the funny part too, is they have this whole space suit research, so the guys can walk around on Mars to do what? To pick up fucking rocks. I mean, it's hilarious. It's not like they got a suit where, you know, it's made so they can like have sex with Martian women or something. No, they have it so we can pick up some more rocks and look at the rocks. Wow. Yeah, it's really it's like going to Disneyland to look at the garbage cans. It's like, oh yeah, let's go to Disney World and we'll photograph garbage cans and study them. It'll be really cool. Yeah. So anyway, just human beings. Too silly for words. But yeah, I mean, there's better things to spend money on, I think so. I think there's better people to give money to anyway. Yeah, just imagine what I could do with $1 billion, god damn it. I could make one hell of a video, maybe. Yeah, I could buy a lot of potato chips. Anyway, enough of a video. Little musical interlude. Because apparently that helps sell people on things. People need to be sold. Without salesmen and marketing, they just can't function on planet Earth. I gotta hit the button. That's it. Okay. Sorry. I'm a little dim. Okay. Till next time. Off. And I hit the off button. I hit it twice. Ooh.